The Esports World Cup is taking place in Saudi Arabia, of all places. Here to talk about the Call of Duty World Cup, Esports World Cup, as it's already started. We're one day in of action already, and I want to know what your guys' thoughts are. I want to know what the opinion is of the event so far, because it was long, right? I really like the stage. The stage seemed really cool. It seemed different. If that was a more packed crowd, I think it would be probably a bananas in there. As the event is going, there's a lot of stoppages. The event was way too long. The beginning had way too many stoppages. Hopefully they kind of smooth that over. I think they will. But like Method says on the Scout broadcast, they're not on the CDL servers, they're on the game servers. So if the game servers decide they don't want to operate, they're not going to operate well. And especially over there, right? No one really knows how the servers really are over there, right? So that gets a little hairy. Hopefully that doesn't impact the tournament moving forward. Hopefully it doesn't come into play in a big moment in this tournament. I really like the amateur teams in the tournament. We need more of that. When Call of Duty was so good is when the World Championships, we had all those AM teams, and then the upset would happen. One team would go on a Cinderella run. That was building COD because it allowed us to learn names that were going to be future names into the league. I'll give you an example. Black Ops 4 COD champs. Massive amount of AMs were in that tournament. There's 32 teams, 16 pro teams, 16 amateur teams. Massive amount of amateur teams. And a guy named Kleenex was on a team called Team Singularity. And man, Kleenex absolutely smoked a lot of people. They were beating pro teams. That's how good Team Singularity was. That's how good Kleenex was. I believe Insight was also on that team. So that's what they have to do. They have to build guys like that because Kleenex instantly became a household name right after that. Instantly then was plugged into the Modern Warfare Toronto team the year after. It made a name. It made a brand without CDL, without Call of Duty having really to do much advertisement, without much pushing to watch something that isn't the Pro League. They just put them in and it allowed everyone to see this guy's the real deal. This guy's going to be a future pro. This guy's talent. They're knocking off pro teams. Now, we have seen a couple pro teams already get knocked off. I believe G2 got knocked off by Checkmate, I believe. Apparently, Cobra is supposed to be really good. He looked good in some games. He was popping off in some games, some maps. So that's a guy, right, that's getting his shine right now. And he should be able to get his shine all tournament because I don't know if you Call of Duty tournaments before the CDL allowed amateur teams to get into the tournament. They had the amateur bracket, and then the top teams in the amateur bracket automatically got put into the bracket pools for the actual pro tournament, and it allowed you to get more eyeballs on other guys that are up and coming or guys you want to see like in our cities, right? Call of Duty needs more of that. It's going to grow it. At least it grew it for me. It allowed me to be like, oh, this guy, I remember this guy when he was beating those pro teams when he was an AM and Black Ops 4 champs. Like, that's what COD needs. And I think this is what this tournament's going to give. And it's so weird that it's not really a part of the CDL. It's so weird not seeing some of these pro teams not with their pro name, per se. Like, we have Cloud9, we have G2 who's already been eliminated, we have Team Heretics who's already been eliminated. Team Heretics also lost to an AM team as well. To Stallions, actually, the FaZe Clan Black team. And it's a little fun fact story for me. In the beginning of this year, I was actually in a game with Exceed and Brock. They slammed us, but it was all fun, right? I was on a little old Xbox One. They were on PCs. They slammed us. That's besides the point. But the AMs are getting a time to shine, and it's so good for the sport, right? We need more of it. I'm going to talk about the Team Falcons. They played pretty well. I mean, I think a lot of people thought they were going to come in and get slammed, and me including. I didn't really even know what they were until the day of the tournament today. But yes, they lost against FaZe. That was expected. Some of them, it was kind of it was more competitive than I thought it was going to be. Then they went down to the wire with Lower Gaming. Now there were some things they were breaking the Sprint GA or something. I don't really know how that concluded. If someone could fill me in the comments, please do so. But they went close to toe-to-toe with a team that's led by Arcides. That's a world champ. So they competed, and that's good for the game, and it's good for the brand. So I'm happy they got a chance to show what they're made of. Moving on to this tournament, I liked the double stream. We hadn't had a double stream in a long time. To me, it's just better. The dual stream, if one match is a pooper, you can watch the other one. To me, that's just better. Yeah, it's what I'm used to, right? It was all way back in the day. So I'm a fan of that. I don't know if everyone that watched is a fan of that, especially if you started watching the CDL era. It's a change of pace, probably. Should we be a little worried about Optic? They had a little closer one at Brooklyn, and then lost to Paris, who got 3-0'd by Carolina. I think Carolina's going to be a sneaky good team here. Should we be worried about Optic? I think jet lag, played a big part in that game. They were showing the desk. It looked like Kenny was falling asleep while playing. So I think jet lag hit him. They said Shots, he had a hard time sleeping on Scum Scream. So that probably was affecting him a little bit. And apparently there's no warm-up stage, like in the backstage. There's no warm-up stage before you go out there and play. So a lot of times this map 1 is kind of like a warm-up for these players. And I think that's why Optic struggled in the map 1. I think they came out very slow in the map 1 and ended up losing map 1, right? So it's going to be a good game against Carolina. I would think they would take it, but I wouldn't be shocked if Carolina won. A team that's going to win this whole tournament, I just weirdly lean FaZe Clan because I think they looked better to me that fundamentally today. And I don't know if they're going to be able to continue that forward when they start versing better competition. I think this is a tournament they'll win because this will be a way to be like, all right, we can work with this group. We can still work with the trio of Simpa, BZ, and Celium and move forward and build next season with this roster. We don't want to make a change. We don't want to act like we hate each other. Let's just keep building with this roster. I think it gives them an excuse. So I would have to predict they are going to win this tournament right now. Obviously, we're still so far away. Any team really could grab this. I think a better prediction is which AM team's going to go the farthest. Are we going to get an AM team into the bracket? I think that's a way better prediction to predict than just guessing who's going to win the tournament, because it's always fun to watch those Cinderella runs. It's always fun in any sport, basketball, even in Call of Duty. I always wanted, back in the day when they had all the AMs at the champs, I was always like, which AM team's going to go the farthest? That's just the way COD is. That's what makes it fun. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and hit subscribe if you want more CDL content. My name's Josh Wissey. Thank you.